Once upon a time, in the land of Nkanzi, there lived two poor farmers named Ade and Bayo. Ade had a small farm where he planted maize, while Bayo had a small cocoa farm. Ade was very humble and kind. He loved to help, while Bayo was very selfish and cruel. He sold his farm produce at higher prices than others. People had no choice but to patronize him because he had a large cocoa farm and his produce were always big. One day, Ade was on his way to the market to buy some seedlings for the next planting season when he met an old woman sitting close to a tree looking all worn out. There was a bundle of firewood beside her on the ground. She was so tired and could not walk. She beckoned on Ade to help her, and he was willing to. He carried her on his back and also the firewood with him to her house. The house was far, and he walked quite a distance, but he didn't mind. When they finally arrived at the old woman's house, she thanked him immensely for helping her and gave him a black goat in return, but he refused. She insisted that he should take it, that it was from her heart. Ade accepted the gift and thanked her for it. The old woman was happy that Ade finally gave in, so she gave him some instructions on what to do with the goat. She told him to feed the goat and never to overfeed it or beat the goat at all, and never to tell anyone about the goat no matter what. Ade was so grateful and returned home with the goat. He kept the goat in a special hut and fed it with fresh grass and water. He was really careful not to overfeed it, just as he was instructed. The following morning, as he brought fresh grass to feed the goat, he noticed it was excreting money. Ade was shocked, but he tried his best to comport himself. He was so grateful to the old woman for giving him the goat. The goat was well taken care of on a daily basis, and it continued to excrete money for Ade. Ade became very rich and had lots of plantations, farms, and businesses. He was still humble despite his new status and was able to help more people. Ade kept feeding the goat and grew richer each passing day. This enabled Ade to empower other poor farmers like Bayo, who envied him and wondered how he was able to become so wealthy in a short period of time. One day, Bayo was on his way to the market to buy manure for his farm when he met the old woman Ade encountered. She sat beside a tree, looking so tired. Beside her was a sack bag containing harvested cassava. She called out to Bayo to help her, but Bayo pretended not to hear her. She called him the second time, and he responded rudely. Reluctantly, he agreed to help her carry her bag, but he refused to carry her on his back, making the old woman walk despite her tiredness. She walked slowly, and this irritated him, so he started shouting on her. Why are you so slow, this woman? Don't you know I have somewhere else to be? I am sorry, my child, the old woman apologized. They walked a distance, and she was weak in her legs. When they got to her house, she was still kind to him and gave him a black goat with instructions on how to feed it. He didn't thank her but hissed and walked out on her, carrying the goat on his back. When Bayo got home, he kept the goat outside and fed it with fresh grass and water. The goat started excreting money. Bayo was shocked and happy at the same time. I am rich! I am rich, he shouted in excitement. He quickly put the money away and kept on feeding the goat, ignoring the old woman's warnings until the goat was overfed and stopped producing money. When Bayo saw this, he got really angry with the goat. He started hitting the goat with a stick. You stupid goat! How can you be so useless and lazy at the same time? You must produce more money for me. He kept hitting the goat until it died. Bayo was furious and went to see the old woman, claiming she had deceived him. The old woman reminded him of her instructions instead. My child, did you overfeed my goat? The old woman asked. Stupid woman! Why should you ask me such a lame question? He got angry and hit the old woman with a stick. This made her so angry, and she issued a curse on him that all his wealth should be reversed. Bayo had returned home to discover he had lost all the money he had put away. They had all turned to a heap of sand. He was left with nothing. He went back to being a poor and miserable farmer for the rest of his life. Lessons to take from this story are: 1. It is always good to be kind to others and never repay one's kindness with evil. 2. Bayo is a perfect example of how greed can destroy one's life, so we should always be content with what we have.